Okay, Tom, we're live.
All right. Have fun.
All right, Tom. I'm gonna add and anybody in here. We're gonna post this Google Doc in the chat. It should take you to something that looks like this. All right, Tom. I'm gonna add. Whoop. Just making sure you can hear me. Okay, so when we run we're gonna run a. I think people are joining. Yes, we're gonna chat a little bit until people join. We got a few people in here, so we'll start. What we'll do tonight is do a play on Huddle. We'll be able to go to this link, and anybody joining should be able to go to this link and give us a response to what you think we should do on this play. So whether you have a flag, you don't have a flag, who should call it, where the basic spot would be, where's the enforcement spot. Did I do that right? Yeah, where the basic spot, where the enforcement spot, who's next to have the ball, the yardage for the penalty, and then what ball position, and then what's the clock status. So, and sometimes not all of these will apply, and that's fine. Or they're obvious, team A obviously keeps the ball. That's fine. But we just made kind of a generic list, so of what to use here. So then I'll be able to see the responses, and we'll go back and talk about it, look at the answers, and go from there.
Cool.
So I'm going to give it just a second here, and if anybody out there has any plays they want us to look at and go through, Tom and I will be happy to do that. Tom, I was just going to give everybody in here just a couple minutes to get
Sure.
logged in and whatnot, and before we get started here.
So my cat Alphonse has joined the meeting. If you see a tail, that's who it is.
They actually cannot see you.
Okay. Well, sorry, Alphonse.
And if you guys watching, click on that link and it doesn't work or something, let me know. Or if you got any other questions that aren't related to the play or something different that's not on that response, just type it in the chat and we'll look at it and answer it the best we can.
No, you go down.
And also, if the Google link is not working, just type your answer in the chat too. That's fine. Okay. Let's get started here.
All right.
Do I have? Nope. I need. Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I need this to come up. Where did this? I need this over here. I'll pull the responses up, and we'll pull them over when that's ready. Okay, here we go. So, the first call we have on here is this offensive holding or not? And who we're looking at really is the guard here. It's on the inside. So we're going to run the play a couple times. We do have the answer kind of down here at the end, so we'll stop it before that, do some responses, and go from there. So we're looking at this action right there. The action right here is what we're looking for, or looking at. What do we think this should be? Is that enough of a restriction? Is it not? If you do think it's a foul, how do we adjudicate it? And go from there. So again, we're looking at this guy right here. Boom. All right, Tom, what do you see on this play?
It's definitely a restrictions act, but any hold on the guard has to come right away. What I'm trying to decide here is, does that restriction have an effect on the play? Is that why this guy gets outside?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, to have a hold, right, we need a material restriction or something of that sort, but we also need it to affect the play. And so in our judgment, we have to determine whether that grab and restrict or material restriction from this guard caused this ball carrier to get out, right? He's grabbing him right. He's got him right there. Is that what we want to be called? I know the stream is a little bit delayed, Tom, so I'm going to give it a few seconds. And check the responses. We're getting some responses in now. If you got any other questions, if you need to see it again or something like that, just let me know in the chat, and we can go from there. But I'll probably give it another 30 seconds or so here, and we'll look at the responses and then see what Sean has to say, see if he agrees with what I think and what you think, Tom. And then what we also need to think about, Tom, is who should see this? Whose call should this be? And then
Well,
if
go ahead.
Who should know what this is, what we should see, and then if we're gonna throw a foul, where we're gonna throw it from, or where we're gonna, how do we enforce the enforcement for it? So, okay, so I'm going to go to the responses, and I'm gonna pull them up over here so you can see this, right, Tom?
Yep.
Okay. So the responses so far is no, it's not a foul on this play. And then we have yes, it is a foul on this play. Referee and umpire, both valid options. The basic spot, end of the run, spot of the foul. Yep, team A keeps the ball. It's a 10-yard penalty if we were to have a penalty. Yep, perfect. Position 1 to position 2. Okay. And then the clock would start on the ready for play. Okay, Tom, let's see what Sean had to say for us. I guess I didn't give the end of the run to know that clock status. But Sean says there's no hold on this play. They got turned and did not have the ability to make an impact on the play. Talk to the player and prevent this action. Is that kind of what you see, Tom? Or go ahead and give your...
It's a restriction, but I think this guy gets out so fast. He even crosses the face of that next defender who's not even touched. So I can't see where that guard's action had a material effect on the play that would rise to the level of a hold.
See, and I'm in the camp of I think that is a hold. I think it is big enough. Because we don't know if that guy could have gotten out there or not because he didn't get the opportunity. So I'm with you, but again, Sean doesn't think it's a hold. He doesn't think it's big enough. He wants it to be bigger than that, a bigger impact. But where we would let's talk about the rest of that. So we're snapping from the 18-yard line. So the hold happened at or behind the line of scrimmage, right? So we would go from the spot foul, which would be position 1, which is closest, or the hash marks closest to the press box. And we're assuming we're looking from the press box, if I didn't say that. And then be 10-yard penalties, replay the down, and it'd be 1st and 20 from the 28-yard line if we were to throw a holding foul on this play. That sound fair?
Yeah, as far as who should see that, I think was your other question.
Yeah.
That has to be the umpire's first look. Now, if anybody else throws on that but the umpire, those two officials need to get together, because if the umpire passed on it, we might end up picking that up. Okay, if for some other reason he didn't, and it's a crew saver, that's fine too. But anytime you throw on something that's out of your area, you got to get together with the official as primary responsibility and talk it over.
Yeah, that's a good talk on that. I think the referee could see that. Do you think he could transition into that as well? Tackles out.
I think so.
Maybe. But I do like the responses that the tackle or the umpire and the referee both should have an opinion on that at least. Okay. So now this one we have taunting. So we have to watch the end of the play here. Boom, he's over here. It's kind of hard to see. He makes a tackle. He gets up, and we're looking at this guy right over here. Boom, he makes that kind of whatever gesture that was. Do we think that rises to the level of taunting? Do we think...
What's he doing?
I'm not 100% sure.
Just celebrating.
But this is where we talk about being good dead ball officials, right? So somebody needs to see it, whether we do or don't. Call this is fine, I think, either way, as long as we're talking to him. But somebody's got to see it and not be so worried about that ball. But is this big enough to rise to the level of taunting? I'm not 100% sure what gesture he's making here, but
I can't tell what he's doing. If he's just celebrating or he's drawing a sword, or I can't really tell what that is.
Yeah.
He's throwing a grenade, or what's he doing there?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a throat slash or if it's it kind of almost looks like a throat slash to me, a big exaggerated one.
Well, some things are automatic. You want to address that, Zach? What kind of gestures have there's no wiggle room?
Yeah, so we don't want anything, throat slash, pointing guns, anything active, that type of violence with that nature. That's above and beyond just normal. I made a tackle celebration, celebrate with my teammates. Anything of that nature of any act with a gun specifically is an automatic. We're not even going to talk to them.
What about lifting the jersey? Like, hey, I'm packing
with the sword. Yeah, is he drawing a sword? Yeah. Jake's trying to figure out exactly what he's doing to it. I don't know if he's pulling a sword out or if he's trying to do the Trevor Bauer put the sword away, like, or what he's doing there. But not flagging it unless he had already been warned. Okay, so and I don't know people joining in if they have the link or if the link is working the way I want it to, and maybe it's not, and we'll just move on and we'll just talk about it. But I don't think I would flag it, but I definitely talked to him. Okay, so I'm not getting any. I got one response on here. So I don't know if this is. I just don't know if the Google Doc is working, or at least working efficiently as we want it to. So, but I'm getting good comments in the chat box, Tom. So we'll move on here and see what Sean gave us for a comment here. Brandishing a weapon is automatic. Fist bump is not a foul. Prolonged dancing is a UNS. 15 yards from the succeeding spot, 2nd and 10. And then Sean comes. He's in the chat. I thought he was going to be at dinner or something tonight. But he comes in with many times the enforcement and temperature of the game will determine the threshold for what they want to allow or what we want to allow. We talk to players on what we expect. So I think that goes into, like you said, Tom, what threshold are we going to allow? And we're going to allow, if this game's chippy, getting out of hand, we're already going back and forth, having to break up some stuff. We're probably going to want to, take this, especially if we've, like Lance said, if we've already warned them, like, hey, watch the celebration, watch, overdoing it type of thing. We definitely want to just nip that in the butt right there. However, if this is the first time this has happened, nobody from the other team really reacts, right? How does the other team take it as part of it? Nobody seems to care. I'm with you. Lance also says he'd like to talk to him. Again, you have to determine what exactly was that. Was that a sword? Was that a gun? Was that just a wave of the arm? Was, whatever the case may be. You have anything to add there on that one, Tom, to finish this out?
Just on enforcement, I think there's valid reasons to go with that as a UNS or not. If you decide to take it on a UNS, just a couple things to remember: the down counts basically.
Yep, this is a dead ball foul.
It's a dead ball foul. A dead ball foul is always succeeded from. It's always I'm trying to think of succeeding spot.
Yeah, the succeeding spot. So it'll go from the end of the release.
If it does not result in a first down, the down counts, and you need to communicate that to both sidelines so they know that we're not repeating the down, and make sure to record it. because if that player would have another one, then he's ejected himself.
Yep.
So there's some technical things, and UNSs get emotional. You just have to make sure you do all the stuff that goes with it after you decide to assess that foul.
Yep. Yeah, so if we do throw this for taunting, we're gonna go. It would be second down, because the play is over, right? So we're gonna have second down from the 27. It looks like he's marked it at. So we'll go, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, whatever, number 10, and we'll go 15 yards. Right? So 5, 10, 15, and it's not an automatic first down. So we're going to have 2nd and 1 from the 42.
Right.
So that's a good talk. It's not the UNS's is not an automatic foul or automatic first down. However, make sure we do report that it is number 77. He does have one. If he gets another one, he is at risk of disqualify, or he will disqualify himself. So, yeah. All right, what do we got on this one, Sean? I think this is another perimeter hold. Yep. So we're watching this action up here between the receiver and the DB for a potential hold. Boom, we got open field takedown. Go back far enough. Up here, we're gonna put it in slow-mo all the way through. Starts in front, he's in good position, and the defender kind of really takes the offense down to the ground, right? But why?
Yep.
But why does he do that? Does it impact the play? I think the defense puts his arm around him, takes him to the ground, kind of does a little wrestling hip toss. This, to me, does not look like a hold. I'll play it in real speed here. I'm going to get rid of Sean's notes, so it'll just play all the way through. Boom. To me, Tom, that looks like the offensive player. The offensive player looks like he's in position, hands inside like we want. I think he's driving him back. I think he's driving him, and the defender gets pissed that he's getting beat and grabs him and throws him to the ground.
Oh, I agree. That's a heck of a block. That's a helmet sticker.
Yeah, I think it's a really good block. Let's give.
I'm sure.
I'm going to give the chat a second to catch up to it. I think we're giving them a good amount of time. Jake says he was going to ask if there was something on the defender. Yeah, Jake, I think this is just a good, clean block. Boom. And the defender takes him down out of frustration. That's what that looks like to me. Let's go see what Sean said here. Okay, offensive hold on the perimeter has a tighter threshold, correct? Defender wants to get off and could not. Even had a throw blocker, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Okay, so I read that, Tom, as Sean thinks that's a hold.
Yeah.
He couldn't get off. I don't think at the time when it became a hold, right? Would have became a hold, or at the point of attack, right? Is one of our words right here. We're at the point of attack. I think he's already given up on the play. I think the defender has already given up on the play. I think he's already committed to hip tossing this defender or this offensive receiver. So I fully understand where we need to be tighter on the perimeter. And it doesn't have to be a big restriction, right? It just has to impact the play. Little restrictions and taking a step away can have big impacts. However, when somebody is getting beat and the defender takes the offense to the ground, we need to know that information as well. So you have to see it all the way through to be able to make a judgment on it. Would you agree with that, Tom?
Yeah.
And I think,
I mean, obviously we've got two different judgments on this thing. So yeah.
And I think live I could see why you think that. I mean, we've been able to watch this 10 times, right? So it's pretty easy for me to sit here and watch it, from replaying it 10 times to get that information. I get why live you thought that I mean, I could see why you thought that was an open field takedown, but let's be conscientious of defenders getting upset as well too. And that goes back to the emotional threshold with it as well.
What do we have here?
Okay. We're going to talk about roughing the passer. So, is this, in your judgment, I need, if you guys could just reply, if you think this is roughing the passer or not, put a yes or a no in the chat for me, and we'll go from there. And I'll play it again here. I'm going to take this off, Sean, just so I can play it all the way through. Boom. Boom.
Is that the same guy that we had before for pulling the sword?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Defender had an opportunity to make a play and was grabbed and restricted, even make the play to a point he had to throw the block off him, beginning blocker off him to bring. I'm going to let this play. What do you think, Tom? You want to talk about it?
100% every day of the week. That's an attempt to punish. We don't teach tackling that way. That is one of the criteria for roughing the passer. Absolutely.
Okay, Sean's response here is ball is clearly away. Defender did not have to push the passer to the ground. Those types of push place quarterback at risk of falling and hitting head on the ground. Call this to prevent that. Roughing the passer is half the distance goal. Replay the try. Referee do not signal incomplete pass. You have to stay with the ball carrier. Or the passer, I'm sorry. So very important. My referee's in here. Our eyes are on, I think Sean calls him our baby, right? We have to stay with our quarterback. We have to protect him. He is very vulnerable after he throws it. That is how injuries occur, right? And nobody in the history of tackling drills has taught any defender to tackle with a two-handed shove to the ground. We don't need to signal incomplete. He's already doing it for us. Right? So we have to know how our quarterback got to the ground. We have to protect him. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been involved in a game where a backup quarterback has come in and the game just is run pretty sloppy or runs out of sync. It makes for bad football. Let's protect that. Let's protect our friend there. All right, Lance's response is yes, not a football move or tackle. He could have held up. Absolutely, Lance. I'm just guessing, but I'm thinking that number 77 had a few incidences during the play. Yeah. Jake, 100%. I think 77 would be our Sam, if you understand what that means. Any other thoughts on this, Tom? I think it's pretty obvious. I think we can move on.
Yeah. Well, mine on roughing the passer, if that shove takes him to the ground, that's automatic. That takes the talk to out of it. If he gives him a little shove and the kid stays up, yeah, you can tell him, we don't tackle that way. But if you don't, if there's anything but a flag on the ground, guess what? That black team's retaliating against the other team's quarterback. You got my guy, guess what? Now it's open season. So for a lot of reasons, we have to take that on roughing the passer.
Yep. So, and then another thing from Sean here is to remind your winger here, H or L, depending on if you're switching or not, to either, I think, turn the box sideways is what he wants.
Yeah.
On a PAT, so you can't see a down. It just helps in film review and other stuff like that. All right. Block below the waist, offensive hold, or no call. So we're watching in here. I'm going to back it up. I just want to see where we were looking. I'm sorry. Sean just texted me. Okay. Interesting. Jeez, I don't know what he's trying to accomplish here. Whoops. Sorry, guys. All right. You guys see where I'm looking here? I'm looking at these two right here. I'm trying to dance with him. I don't know, single leg. I don't know what kicking team guy is trying to do here. 18. I don't know what 18 is supposed to. What he's trying to accomplish here. So I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. Tom, if you want to talk about your thoughts on offensive hold or block below the waist, but I want to give people in the chat to give me an option or give me an answer. If you think that would be considered a hold, a block below the waist, why or why not, and who should be looking there, who should see it.
Yeah. I don't know if we've got something or got nothing on that one. What do you guys think? It's away from the play, so I don't think it has effect on the play. How much is too much away from the play, and who should be seeing that? Look like the key points on this thing. I guess my question as I read the responses, if it's away from the play and doesn't affect the play, would it be better to go with a personal foul than a hold?
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I just came back in, and the first thing I see is, as Jeff Kopetsky would say, "What are we doing?" Um. So. Yeah. So this, if this is right, if this is this year, I don't, which I don't, I'm not 100% sure it is. Well, it should be.
Yeah, it is.
The umpire comes in, the back judge comes in, and we're looking down the middle, right? So, boom, he needs to get in here, and we're looking, right down Main Street there, right where this occurs. There's not a and there's the back judge should be here, wouldn't you say? So the only other thing the umpire has got to look at is right there. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Now, let me judge the responses here. Even though this isn't a close to the play. Oh, okay, that's what you were talking about. Jake's response.
That's what
Were you reading Jake's response when you responded to me?
I would, if I was going to go with anything on that, I would not go with a hold. I could live with making it a personal foul when he grabs his leg and tosses him.
Okay, so this let's start with the first question. The first question was, is this a block below the waist? I judge that in my judgment, Tom, and you can tell me what yours is. I judge that at the waist.
Agreed.
So to have a block below the waist, we would need to be below the waist, correct? That's as simple as written in the rule. So now, we're away from the play. Yes, Jake, agreed. The grab of the leg, I feel like, could be called. That's dangerous. Could this be a personal foul? Yes, I agree with this. Could be a personal foul. In this case, I think, and what I would call on this is you definitely want to hold on this. This is a takedown. Correct? Tom, could you, I mean, there's no debating that this isn't a takedown. I think in wrestling it's literally called a single leg takedown, correct?
It's a good one.
It's during the play. It's open field and a takedown. Those are what we want on kickoffs. Really, the only holdings we want to be called on a kickoff that aren't directly around the play are the takedowns. You always, no matter where takedowns happen on the field on a kickoff or a kick play of any kind, punts, kicks, scrimmage kicks, whatever you want to call them, is we want the takedown, right? So if you look at, let's look at a different guy over here. This guy, right? Oops, cancel. Let's watch this. Let's watch this guy right here, Tom. This guy right here. See, look, he's kind of holding him. He's kind of grabbing him. He's not letting him go. That's the same thing we had on the perimeter. But he's well away from the play on this kickoff. We don't want to call that.
Right.
We don't want this one to be a foul. However, this one, I'm with Jake. That could rise to the level of a personal foul. But in my judgment, I'm going to put holding on this. And as we know, on a kickoff, let's talk about how to report this, Tom. So, kickoff, we have to give our, if I was to come to you, how do you want one of your officials to come to you and give you a report a foul on on a free kick like this?
Oh, basically what the foul was. We've got holding on, white, whatever, and during the kick.
Yep.
And then we have to figure out, is it ahead of or behind the end of the kick for enforcement purposes.
Yeah. So this needs to be reported as in and how I've always been trained from even Monty Tilgener gives us how he does it in the Big Ten. You have to come in and give during the kick or during the return first, because that automatically gets everybody thinking where the enforcement spot's going to be. Right? Is this PSK or is it not? So this is during the return. Okay? During the return, holding number 18, and it's a spot, and you want to throw your flag at the spot. So we're going to put the spot here. And so it'll go, where did the play end? I'm sorry. So if the hold happened there, so the hold happened in front of the end of the run. Could have at the end of the run. So the hold happened in front. So we're going to go back to the end of the run and go 10 yards from that, from the end of the run, and it'll be 1st and 10 black. Does that sound correct, Tom? Did I misspeak there?
No, that's exactly right.
Perfect. Now, we have a question here. I could be wrong, but the black judge might not be on the field due to the players on the ground at the 45. Good point. Let's look at it. Nope. So, I see why you think that. Going from the end of the run. Yep. I agree, Shane. So, however, I see this guy down, but as soon as these guys pass him, boom, he should be in right now. He should be running. He should be almost be even with this guy, but there's nobody going to harm him. So you got to finish officiating by getting in here and finishing the play, and then we can help him or get him help, whatever the case may be. But good point on that. Yeah.
Right. As far as reporting that, Zach, if you just want to hang on that last one for just a second, everybody's got their own, but the way I prefer is you only give me one number. The only number I want when I'm trying to figure out my penalty announcement is the number of the fouling player. I don't want the yard line. I don't want the down and distance, none of that stuff. I mean, I guess I'm easily confused, but the only number is we have a hold on number 18 at, during the run, and it's a spot foul. So I know everybody has their own, but that's just what works for me.
I hear you, but it's not a spot foul.
Well, no, the example is just give me one number.
Yep, I understand what you're saying. Just to be clear, that is not a spot foul. Okay. But I do understand what you're trying to get at.
Yeah, it would be the end of the return, not the run, the return, but yeah.
It will be from the end of the run, yeah. Because as soon as he gets possession, it becomes a run play. Okay.
Correct.
You make the call. Forward progress. Okay, so we're talking about the spot here. Boom. Oh, okay.
What do we have here?
Little extra stuff going on here. First, before we get to that, let's talk about where to spot this. So, clearly, he's trying to give himself up. He is trying to stay in bounds to keep the clock running. Right? So, the tip I was given in our college game over the last weekend, it's funny that this comes up, and Sean should appreciate this, that I was listening. We want to go back So if it's if it's a feet first slide, right? He's giving himself up. We want to go back about 3 yards from where his butt hits because it's where the slide starts. So that may be a college rule, but you can go back 2 to 3 yards in high school. But we want to go back. I would take this back to the 35, if that's me spotting it, because he still gets the first down, which is what are you trying to accomplish, right? He stayed in bounds. He gets that. Result of the play. Result of the play. Team who fouled. Number that fouled. Where the foul happened. When the foul happened. Oh. That's interesting, Sean. So Sean's talking about the well, we'll go back to that. We're in the middle of this. You're a little late, Sean. So is that kind of a fair assessment, do you think, Tom, on this? Because it's where it starts, right? But you gotta understand what he's trying to accomplish too, right?
That's what we've always been taught on a slide. Just go back 2 yards from where you think the end of it was. You'll be pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the 2 yard rule. I'm not opposed to the 3 yard rule, but just know what he's trying to accomplish here, right? You know he's trying to stay in bounds. You know he's trying to get the first down. He clearly has it. Move it back where he starts. Looked like the ball carrier went down down with the ball at the 36-yard line. The 36. So 36 here. That's not the 36. That's the 31. Haha. 36. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah, Lance. So what we're saying is where he starts to go down, right? He landed at about the 37, 38 in there. Just go back 2 yards. If you put it the 36 or the 35, he still keeps the clock running like he wants. He still gets the first down like he wants. And he's still got protection, right? So if we're going to ask the defense to lay off of him, right? That's what we want. That's the goal there, right, Tom? We want the defense to not hit him. He's giving himself up.
Right.
We're not going to reward him for the extra 2 to 3 yards that he slides or he rolls or whatever the case may be. So to kind of offset that, Lance, I think, yeah, going back to the 36 or the 35 is a fair, medium there. We're still protecting him. He still gets what he wants. And I think everybody, well, minus the defense, I think everybody's happy. Now, let's talk about whatever the heck's going on over here. Okay, let's watch over here. Who goes down? Where does it start? Okay, right there. Boom. Where do you come from, my friend? You are my center. Okay, or my snapper. I'm sorry, Sean. Boom, he grabs him. He hugs him. They're hugging each other. We love each other. We're exchanging Christmas cards. And the head shove. And the smack. And the flex. Okay.
There you go.
A lot going on there. So,
oh my goodness.
Tom, I'll talk about what I see, and then I'll let you talk about what you see, and then we'll talk.
Perfect.
We'll see what Sean says at the end. So, what I would see here is boom, nothing. They're chicken fighting. I think they're hand fighting. I think they both have a hand on each other. I have nothing at this point. Honestly, he pulls him down on top of himself. He didn't hurt that player. He didn't hurt the defender. Did it to himself, in my judgment, right there. So right now I have nothing. I'm gonna tell him to knock it off. I think they were both going at each other. I think they both wanted to do that. However, right there, I have something. Right. Did I miss a smack? And then he shoves him, and then he smacks him in the head. So you want to get the first guy, right? Why did Black smack him in the head? It's in response to his head getting driven into shoved to the ground, right? So what do you see on that, Tom? Who would you go with on here?
I think it's a nothing burger until the white number 50, whatever it is, right there when he's that second action is slamming him into the ground. That's personal foul.
Agreed. And
what the kid does in response, I don't think rises to the level of the foul.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to punish the kid in the black there for responding the way he did after getting after getting landed on, which I think he did it himself. However, and then getting his head shoved to the ground. And he didn't have a closed fist. And I mean, he didn't even really. He cocks back.
That's more of a get off me.
Yeah, he cocks back a little bit here, but I think that is just, we want to put that on white all day long. That center is looking for him.
He grabs him, pulls him back.
Yeah, pulls him down, boom, and shoves him, boom. So, to answer your question, Jake, and I might have just said it and the stream was catching up, but I don't think that that's a punch. I think it's a open hand slap. And I don't want to get the second guy because it wasn't a closed fist. Had that been a closed fist, we would... Well, let's finish this first. Forward progress at the A36 where he slides, ball is now dead. Okay, yep, Sean thought the 36, 35. I think Lance said the same thing. If number 36 did not contact the helmet of the opponent, it would just go 1 UNS, number 36. So he has black. He's talking about black. However, too much of a reaction not to place a UNS on both players, inciting a fight. There are not punches. Okay. So in Sean's opinion, nothing, boom, UNS on the white, and he thinks that's enough to cause a UNS on black as well. And maybe, again, it goes back to, reading the temperature of the game. You want to, if they've both been chippy all night, which it seems like it has been, it's not a bad idea to put a counter on both of these guys to say, hey, enough's enough. Like, you get another one, you're done. I'm good with that too. If you just judge this play by itself, I may not do anything to black there, but I think, as Sean would say, it would fully support getting a UNS on both of these guys. Number 52 white, number 36 black, because they're just chicken fighting, or they're just doing a bunch of crap that's not needed in this game. Does that sound fair there, Tom? Oh, I'm having connection problem. Okay, so it sounds like it's just me. Okay, well, Tom says it sounds good. We're moving on. Okay. You make the call, encroachment. Okay. This is a quick one, Sean. Okay. So we did call encroachment on this. And as we know, in high school, it is a dead ball foul. As soon as he breaks that glass plane of the neutral zone, he cannot get back. So, and he is unabated. Yep, so much gray. Agreed. So, but on this one, ironically, Sean, in encroachment, it is really kind of black and white. If he breaks that glass plane, we want to get that tied to the line of scrimmage. Any forward movement puts the defender in the neutral zone. Yep, 5-yard penalty. Perfect. So that's just as simple as, yes, he's offsides. We kill it in high school. No free plays. We're going to go 5 yards from the previous spot. And replay fourth down. There are times we get the first foul and then get the game put disqualification trigger on both players. We're going to move on from that one. That one's tough to see anyways. So, lefty kicker. Boom. So, lefty kicker, I think we're on the wrong. I think the R's on the wrong. Is the R? Sean, is the R on the wrong spot on that then for a lefty kicker? I feel like he needs to be on the other side, but I could be wrong. Okay, so we want to see what we're watching here is the action by our guy swimming upstream here. You make the call, legal or illegal, and what type of illegal? Okay, so what do we want to call here? Yes, you should be on the other side. Thanks, Lance. I thought so. Sean does like lefties. He's a lefty himself, so he just likes to point out lefties. But I feel like that referee definitely needs to be on the other side. And then let's watch our guy swimming upstream here. I'm gonna delete that real quick, Sean. Let's see. Swimming upstream. Boom. Okay. So, I need you guys to respond to me here and tell me what you think. Is this a foul? Is this not a foul? What did I say, Sean? I said encroachment. Yeah, I said not offsides. Maybe I said offsides. I thought I said offside, or I thought I said encroachment. So maybe I didn't mix and match them because they are not the same. So let me know what you guys think. Is this a foul? And what if you have it as a foul? What are we calling this? Our guy's right here. Coming in. So, as we know, for a block in the back, it would need to be in the back, right? So it's not in the back from what I see. Boom. Watching our friend come here. Boom. I am with you guys. I 100% think this is a blindside block. This is, it's not one of those big boom ones, right? But it's completely unnecessary. Right? So I think because the player does not see it coming, then yes, it's a blindside block. Yes, Jake, agreed. During the return, illegal blindside block, spot foul. Yep. Agreed. I don't think he sees it coming. He's out of the vision, right? We talk about that all the time. It's not in the vision of the player. And for sure gets him in the side. And for sure it'll be a spot foul. So Shane, the spot foul, we need not only the yard line, we need the ball position as well, right? So we need to throw our flag, and then if our flag doesn't get there, we should go pick up that flag and move it to where it needs to be before running or O2Oing. We give a preliminary, go move our flag, and then tell the referee what we have. During the return, illegal blindside block. Illegal blindside block. Get the number, whatever number that was. Number 10, whatever the case may be. Number 63. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Right? And then my flag is good. So that way everybody else can start doing their jobs. Right? The umpire can go in and get the ball. The chains can start getting moved down. We can get to our spots. We can walk it off, and start moving from there. Good call. Good conversation. Okay, I'm going to. It's about 7. Do we still have people in here? Do you guys want me to keep going? I can keep going for a little bit. Or I can move on to... I have one last play I want to end with, and it might actually just need... Oh, this is the end of it anyways. We're going to move on. Let's see. We're going to go... Give me a second here. We're going to go Class D. Lance, I hope you're still here. We're going to go to Week 5. We're going to go to... I thought Sean put it in here. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Double foul. Right
Sorry about that.
You're good. So, yeah, 15-yard chain. Yep. Okay. So now, this is a fun one. And Mr. Lance Clark, I hope you're in here. So, Tom, got a lot happening on this play. Let's watch this one here. Okay. So, first things first. We're watching our guard up here, right? Face mask foul, B98. Sure. Illegal use of hands. Face mask. I mean, when he shoves his helmet off like that, as long as we have a foul, whatever you want to call it. I know it's a face mask. There's no illegal use of hands, or there's no hands to the face in high school. I get it, but it's still illegal. And then we have... Oh, geez, I was talking too much and letting it roll. Okay, so, boom, hands. Boom, throw. Interception! All right, start the return. Okay, so what do we think on a return? We're watching for guys going upstream, right? Boom. No. Oh, okay, that was legal. He saw it coming. Uh-oh. Our guy with no helmet goes over and pushes him out of bounds. So, my question to you, Tom, is A, we should have a foul for face mask, yes? Hands to the face, illegal use
face
of hands.
mask or illegal use of hands,
Again, I don't, yeah. Boom, comes off. So, unfortunately, that is a foul. It is not his fault, right? But he is now done for this play. He cannot participate. He can't pick his helmet up. He can't put it on and then continue to participate. He can't participate. Boom, we got a flag down. So the offense or the defense did not get the ball with clean hands. Right? So the clean hands rule does not apply here, as essentially, you know, if we're going to call it the clean hands play, we're going to call it the dirty hands. They got it with dirty hands. They had a foul down, right?
Right.
Boom. Interception. And now our friend over here with no helmet can't stop himself because he's a competitor, and goes over and pushes him out of bounds, make sure he doesn't score, whatever the case may be. But he illegally participated, right? And to participate, it has to be during the play, correct? Which would make that a live ball foul. So in this case, we have 2 live ball fouls, one by both teams. And by rule, what do we do with that, Tom?
They offset.
They offset. So the only and there's no way that the defense can decline that penalty and keep the ball because they didn't get it with clean hands. So the only way to enforce this, Tom, would be what?
Offset and replay the down.
Right. So we should have third down and whatever that is, 7. Right?
Yep.
Hands to the face. Boom. Unfortunately, he's done. And he might try to tell you, well, I couldn't let him score. It doesn't matter because hands to the face mask, either way, your team's keeping the ball. So letting him run and go score is no problem there. However, we cannot let him go in there, stick his head in there, and, you know, get injured. So, the only outcome for this play should be offsetting penalties, replay third down. If anybody has any questions about that, let me know. I think this is an interesting one because it's so hard and it happens. You get so much. You see those ones on the test, Tom, that we talk about all the time. Well, when does this actually happen in the game? Right? When does this well, right here it is. Right? Like this is when it happens in the game. And thankfully it's fourth quarter with 1:55 left and 52-36. Right? The game's pretty much over at this point. So yeah, that's a good one, Lance. Now, Lance, you always get the good ones. You had the punts last year. You had this one. Remind me to stay away from your crew. Wait, I mean, yeah, when you least expect it, Lance. Yeah, there's nothing like Dr. Harmon trying to talk you through it and screwing it up. No, throw Mark under the bus. Screwing it up. Oh, Dr. Harmon. Okay, you guys let me know in the chat if you want me to keep going or if you want to end it here. I'm good either way. We have another playlist I can go pull up. It's been about an hour and 10 minutes.
There is at least one, Zach, if we still have time and interest,
Yeah.
I'd like to look at.
Yeah, which one?
on the 8-man playlist, number 41.
Okay.
It's the second one, I believe. I really like to see what these guys think.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, 1st and 10. Oh, wait. If there wasn't... Hold on, I'm going to answer Jake's question here. If there wasn't a face mask, would you add 15 to the end of the return for illegal participation? If for some reason the player's helmet came off without a face mask, if that's even possible? Yes, Jake. So if his helmet comes off, which sometimes they just don't strap him hard enough, and they just kind of go to the ground and they fall off, which does happen. Or they headbutt, they're headbutting each other, they hit each other, and it does come off. He is still essentially dead on that play. He cannot participate. So had we not had the hands to the face, we had the face mask, whichever you're calling it, Sean. Don't text me. You have the interception, you have the return, we have illegal participation, which is a live ball foul, right? So we're going to go 15 yards from the end of the return or the end of the run, and it would be 1st and 10 or 1st and goal. I can't remember where it was at, but yes, Jake, we would add 15 from there. Same thing as if he was off the sideline and came in and made the tackle. We have seen that floating around the interweb this week, where a high school player was running a ball back, and the kid ran off. Well, we're not going to get into that because there's actually more to that. But had he illegal participated in any way, whether it was the helmet off or any other form of illegal participation, we would add 15 yards from the end of the run there, end of the return, and it would be 1st and 10 or goal, whichever where it was. Okay.
To get back to Jake's point, he said it for some reason the helmet came off, if that's even possible. It's amazing how often helmets come off.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys just don't wear them right. And then the coaches, well, he didn't take his own helmet off. Well, yeah, he kind of did.
Ooh, that brings up another good point. So had we just had the illegal hands to the face or the face mask, I'm gonna say it wrong every time. You just know what I mean, okay? And he didn't illegally participate or anything of that nature. Actually, even if he did illegally participate like that play, Tom, does he have to go out for a play?
No, not if the opponent caused his helmet to come off.
Perfect. Yep. So because his helmet came off due to a foul, then he can remain in the game. We do not have to send him out for a play for equipment. That was not his fault that it came off.
Right.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got on this one.
All right.
First things first that I notice. Okay, so my guy right here is punching him back. Okay? I have no idea who this crew is. I don't really care. If you know, don't tell me I don't care. So he's punching the end man on the line of scrimmage, which would be this guy, right, Tom? And this is 8-man football, so that puts 1, 2, 3, 4 men in the backfield. Okay? So that tells me that's an illegal formation. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
Have to be.
Perfect. Okay.
And this guy is not punching. The guy on the near side is not punching. And his guy is clearly off.
And his guy is clearly off. So the punch, we want to punch back if we have the end man on the line of scrimmage back. And if you have two, you put your fingers spaced out as I'm demonstrating, but then I realized I'm not on camera. So you put 2 fingers out. Okay? And then once we've established that we have a legal formation, drop the punch back. We don't want our hand out there, because if it was to this side and this guy's hand was up and we had a quick pass, we don't know if you're still punching him back or if you're punching back for backwards pass. So we use the punch back is to communicate with our partner across the field. hey, my guy's off, right? So look over, communicate, punch him back. You guys are talking to each other without using, words here, right? We're not using the O2O. We're communicating with sign language here. So put your hand down. Next thing. Okay. Illegal helmet contact is what you say, Tom. Or what?
This first guy whipped. Go back to the first guy, will you, Zach? This first guy's face mask is down. The bells are going off, but he whiffed.
Okay. So what Tom is saying here is a lot of stuff, right, we want to look at is our dude's eyes are directly at the ground. Okay? So if we see this early or anytime and he whiffs like this, or doesn't use it as a weapon, right? Because the defense can target. We don't want. We want to warn them. Say, hey, see what you hit. Keep your head up. Keep your head up. And I always emphasize with them, man, it's for you. I want to keep you in the game, because if you hit somebody like that, you're at more of a risk of hurting yourself and coming out of this game and not playing the rest of this game, the rest of the season, the rest of your life, whatever the case may be. But I try to let them know, hey, man, I'm trying to keep you in the game. See what you hit. Because it's a safety foul for you, not necessarily the guy you're hitting. And then our second hit here is he's wrapped up, boom, and he comes in and just clocks him. Just clocks him. So, holy smokes.
Go ahead. That's what I'd like you guys' opinion on. What do we have?
Okay. So, what we have to determine is I'm going to preface this with I understand I'm going outside of what the verbiage of the rule book states, but we're going to use kind of common sense, fair play, kind of high school or college rules here. Is he a defenseless player? Right? He's wrapped up. I don't think he's a defenseless player. Is that a high, dangerous hit? Yes, I think so.
If you stop it right there, Zach, his feet are off the ground.
Yeah.
He launched.
Yeah, Shane, I agree. He launched. He's. Yeah, I agree, Shane. That's right where I'm going. He did this with intent. Yeah, he is not in any way, shape, or form trying to tackle this dude. He, just like the roughing the passer we had earlier, when do you ever teach your kid to tackle with his arms in, shoulder out, leave your feet, and try to take his head off like a rocket? I mean, that is targeting all day long to me. And watch Sean will come in and say, no, that's not targeting. I think we want this called.
100%.
I would want that called. I don't know what the time and the score is this game, and I don't think it matters. That kid, his only intention there was to punish that guy. He was not going for the tackle. He wasn't even going for the ball. Right? Like, Tom, if he was going in and he's trying to strike the ball, you might have an argument there, but he's clearly just going for his head.
It's in the head and neck area, which is the definition of targeting.
Right. And
now the question, could it be flagrant if that's a defenseless player? He's wrapped up. Is he a defenseless player here?
Okay. So, A, yes, I think it is targeting. B, in let's remember in high school, it is targeting in itself is not a disqualification or an ejection, whichever way you want to phrase it. It is not a removal from the game. Yep,
Right.
I agree, Shane. It looks like he's aiming for the head. It is not a disqualification. However, like you said, if it's targeting and you determine it's flagrant, then it is, right? Then we want to disqualify him from the game. I've got to know what else he's done in this game, what else has been said. Have we told him to not do this? Have we told him if he's getting close? If this is the first time, anybody on black has done that, I'm going to err on the side of not throwing him out. I want to keep him. I don't think we should kick him out. I wouldn't. I mean, is it flagrant? Probably. Is he a defenseless player? I don't think so. He is wrapped up, but he is able to see it coming. It looks terrible. So I'll play it full speed. I mean, it looks terrible, but can you argue that the defender was going down? Like, did he dip his head too? I don't think so, but I wouldn't kick the kid out for this. Tom?
I would definitely. I mean, I'm trying to think back, Zach, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the old college mechanic before you guys got replay was to have targeting with an ejection. You had to have 2 flags on it. Is that correct?
Isn't
that the old?
Yeah.
Isn't that the old targeting before replay?
Yeah, you would definitely want multiple flags on it in the old system.
I'd have targeting here. I have no problem with that 100%. I would definitely have a crew conversation before I made that flagrant. I wouldn't if it was my flag, I wouldn't want to let an emotional, angry flag say, yeah, he's gone. I would definitely want to get some other opinions before we would make that flagrant.
Yep. And again, we need to know the temperature of the game, what's been happening, as you know what I mean. Have we had this problem before? Have we been close before? Have we warned them before?
If this kid's a total Sam,
right.
that changes the decision.
Right. But so.
And I don't know that just from this one play. So.
Agreed. Yeah, we don't know that from this clip. So. All right. Well, I think we'll end it there, Tom. I hope everybody got something out of this, and if you watch it later and you have some questions, just put them in the chat box. Text us, Sean or I, or Tom. Email us. Anything of the sort. If you guys could hit that like button for me on the YouTube page, that would really help. If you want to hit that share button and subscribe, if you have not yet, that helps the channel grow, so we can keep doing this. Excuse me. So with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.